What is poppin', Sports Galaxy fans? Today we're going to be doing our 2020 NBA mock draft. Now, if you don't already know, the NBA draft was officially announced to be on October 15th, 2020, which is obviously a long ways away, but we're going to be doing a lot of mock drafts until then. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into it. Starting off with the Phoenix Suns, who we have trading up to number 1. We're just using the current default draft order, and we're not going to be predicting the draft lottery results. The lottery is going to be on August 25th. Anthony Edwards is often compared to Victor Oladipo. He's an amazing defender and he's great in transition, and pull-up jumpers are his expertise. The Suns get a great complement in the backcourt for Devin Booker, and their defense will improve tremendously with Edwards. He can be their glue guy, and he's going to make their team much, much better. At number 2, the Cavs take Obi Toppin. He's extremely efficient in transition. He's going to complement Sexton and Garland extremely well. I'd be very surprised to see him not end up in Cleveland. He fits with the team extremely well, and he went to Dayton, which is a 3-hour drive from downtown Cleveland. He could potentially be their next LeBron. Out of all the lottery teams, Cleveland's really the only team that he fits well with, and no matter what pick they have, I really think he's going to go to Cleveland, even if number 2 seems like a reach. At number 3, the Pistons trade up and take LaMelo Ball, a gifted ball handler with exceptional size for a point guard at 6'7". LaMelo's only 18 and he's one of the youngest players in the draft. Obviously, he's brothers with Lonzo and the son of the GOAT LeVar Ball, and Lonzo hasn't been great in the NBA thus far, but he still has time to grow. LaMelo's court vision is excellent, but unlike Lonzo, LaMelo's defense is incredibly lackluster. His ability to score is tremendous, but the Pistons will definitely struggle defensively with this selection. I definitely see the Pistons trading up for LaMelo, as Derrick Rose won't be there much longer, and the mid-season trade of Reggie Jackson shows that they're looking for a new one guard. At number 4, the Hawks take the 6'5" combo guard, who plays off-ball mainly, out of Iowa State, and Tyrese Halliburton. He shot 43% from three at Iowa State, and he shoots the floater incredibly well. He has the most potential out of anyone else in the draft, and he may be the 2 guard that will complement Trae Young perfectly in the Hawks' backcourt. At number 5, the Timberwolves take Deni Avdija, an excellent playmaking forward who operates extremely well out of the pick-and-roll offense. He will do great things with D'Lo and Cat and Malik Beasley in Minnesota, as they are all incredible at the catch and shoot. A great defensive wing who would fit well with a lot of teams. His main flaw, however, is his inconsistency from the 3, which hopefully he figures out or he could be a bust. Huge trade details here. The Warriors get Cam Johnson, Aaron Baines, Javon Carter, and the Suns' 2023 first-rounder. They're going back to the strength and numbers approach they took in 2015, and they're going to be looking to add a big man at pick number 8. The Hornets move from number 8 to number 10 and get a next-year first from a borderline playoff team. Great value for only 2 slots. And the Suns obviously acquire the first pick in Anthony Edwards, but for a hefty price. Another trade here, the Pistons trade up to the 3rd pick to get their face of the franchise in LaMelo Ball. They don't have to give up too much, giving the Timberwolves Bruce Brown, Thon Maker, and a 2022 first-rounder. All things considered, they didn't give up too much to get their long-term one guard. The Tims are willing to trade down 2 spots because they know that the Hawks and the Pistons won't be looking to draft a forward, and they get decent value if they trade down, so they do it. With the 6th pick, the Knicks select Killian Hayes, a tremendous 3-level scorer who will at least be a solid starter in the NBA. The Knicks don't currently have a cemented one guard, and he can be a great scoring one at the next level for them. My NBA comparison for him would be Goran Dragic, who is the prototype scoring one guard in the NBA. He's a lefty, and he's the lowest bust potential in the draft, in my opinion. At number 7, the Kings trade up 5 spots and select the best 5 in the draft. With a 7'5" wingspan, James Wiseman will be an incredible shot blocker at the next level. He's extremely agile on the post and sometimes even steps out to knock down the 3-ball. He will fit in amazingly with De'Aaron Fox and Bogey in the pick-and-roll offense, and if they can develop him as a better rebound, he'll be the ideal center for their offense. At number 8, the Warriors get a mobile, small-ball center who's versatile defensively, averaging 4 blocks along with 2 steals in college, Nneka Okongwu. Although he can't shoot, he will fit well with the small-ball scheme that the Warriors put together in 2015. He rose up the draft charts due to his similarities with Bam Adebayo, who is the current favorite for most improved player, and hopefully he can have a similar skill set to Bam at the next level for the Warriors. Next at number 9, the Wizards grab a tremendous 3-and-D wing who can hopefully be a cheaper, improved version of Otto Porter, who was previously on their wing, in Devin Vassell. With a tandem of Hachimura, Beal, and Vassell, the Wizards could definitely be a threat in the East next year. At number 10, the Hornets select Isaac Okoro, the best defensive wing in this class, and it's not even close. Okoro is my personal favorite wing in the draft. He's the exact same physicals as Kawhi at 6'6", 225 pounds. If he can develop a scoring ability somewhere even close to Kawhi's, he will be an all-star for years to come. He struggled tremendously as a shooter at Auburn last season, but he can always improve that. The Hornets were definitely a more defensive-minded team last year, and Okoro will make their defense even better. Trade details here. The Bulls trade down to pick 12 as they're eyeing a 3-and-D wing that they know no one else will take in the top 10. The Kings' biggest issue last year was rebounding, and they'll look to improve that by giving up on Alex Len and drafting Wiseman. In the process, they have to give up Bogey, but it's okay because Buddy Hield is a very suitable replacement at the starting 2 spot for them. At number 11, the Spurs take Aaron Smith, an athletic wing who is arguably the best shooter in the draft. He shot 50% from downtown at Vanderbilt, and while this was only in 14 games, these stats are wowing scouts enough to convince the Spurs to take him at number 11. The Spurs improve immediately on both sides of the ball with this pick, and he's going to be the perfect replacement for Kawhi. At number 12, the Bulls take Josh Green. The Bulls don't have too many options here, as they already have their 1 through 5 filled out with White, Levine, Porter, Markkanen, and Carter, assuming no trades are made. So they opt to take a 3-and-D wing in Josh Green, who has a great complement to Nico Mannion at Arizona. The Bulls are gaining depth with this pick, and hopefully they become an attractive market for the big free agents in 2021, specifically Giannis Antetokounmpo. At 13, the Blazers look to improve their perimeter defense by taking Patrick Williams. I love this guy as he can guard anyone on the wing, and it makes sense for the Blazers because Dame and CJ have struggled to guard the elite backcourt players in the West in playoff time. He's 6'8", and he excelled at guarding smaller players at Florida State. The Pelicans take Tyrese Maxey at pick 14, as they're in a similar position as the Bulls. They're a great up-and-coming young team, and they have their starting 5 filled out, so they take a 3-and-D wing in Tyrese Maxey. Maxey was decent at Kentucky, but he was expected to perform better. He'll be a great role player at the next level. And at pick 15, the Magic take Theo Maledon. I don't know much about him, but the Magic need another one, as DJ Augustine is getting really old. At pick 16, the Tims take Saddiq Bey, an excellent spot-up shooter and scorer. He struggled defensively at Villanova, but he can improve that with the guidance of Cat in Minnesota. The Tims will have a great pick-and-roll offense with Cat, Avgia, and D'Lo, and then an abundance of shooters with Spellman, Bey, Beasley, and more. At pick 17, the Celtics take Precious Achiuwa. They don't have much to lose here, so they take a project player that could be a great asset for them or trade bait in the future. He's extremely raw, but with tremendous athleticism, he could be special at the next level. At 18, the Nets take a stretch 4 in Jaden McDaniels. He shot 34% from 3 at Washington, and he could be the starting 4 for the Nets when they're contending next year. Imagine a starting 5 of Kyrie, LeVert, Durant, and a John Collins type player in Daniels, and then Jarrett Allen at the 5. With this pick, the Nets may rule the East next year. At 19, the Bucks take the youngest player in the draft in Pokusevski. He's very similar to Nikola Jokic with his passing ability and size, and he's another project player that the Bucks will take on. The Bucks stick to their draft philosophy by taking a player that people don't know much about, that could either be a star or could flop, like Giannis and Thon Maker. Next at pick 20, the Mavs get the steal of the draft in Cole Anthony. Anthony was a top 5 prospect out of high school and chose to go to UNC, not knowing how terrible of a supporting cast he would have. He slipped down the draft board due to Carolina's disappointing season, and he falls to the Mavs, who are getting a great wing defender and scorer. Mavs fans will be very happy with this pick. At pick 21, the 76ers take Joel Embiid's backup in Jalen Smith. I loved watching him in college at Maryland, and my NBA comparison for him would be a Joel Embiid who is more prompted to shoot. He's a decent post defender but can definitely improve in that aspect, and he was going to make a deep tournament run with Maryland if it wasn't canceled. At pick 22, the Nuggets take Jahmi'us Ramsey, an excellent tempo-pushing combo guard who is great in transition. Hopefully he can make that Nuggets team faster and tire defenders at mile high. At pick 23, the Heat take Isaiah Stewart as a replacement for Hassan Whiteside. He's one of the strongest players in the draft, and he's an excellent post defender. He led Washington to a solid record alongside Jalen McDaniels in the front court last season. At pick 24, the Jazz take a backup wing in Tyler Bey. He shot 42% from 3, and he'll be a great backup or replacement for Joe Ingles at the 3. At pick number 25, the Thunder reach and take Cassius Stanley, another great transition player who will thrive with Chris Paul and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in OKC. He fits this team so well, and he may start in his rookie year at the 3 spot. At pick number 26, the Raptors take guard out of Stanford, Tyrell Terry. He'll be a great backup for Kyle Lowry or a potential replacement when he leaves, because he's getting up there in years. At pick number 27, the Celtics take guard Nico Mannion out of Arizona. He's a very fun prospect who does not look like he plays basketball. And he was a lot of fun to watch at Arizona last year. The Celtics, they don't really have much to lose here, and so they take a fun prospect who fans will love, just like Taco Fall. At pick number 28, the Knicks take RJ Hampton out of New Zealand. He was a top 10 prospect, and then he just opted to not go to college and just go straight to the pros in New Zealand. And his draft stock fell a lot because of that. He's currently a top 20 prospect on most boards, but I'm going to have him slip to number 28 here, just because not a lot of teams are attracted to him, as he didn't play too well in New Zealand, and not a lot of scouts are talking about him. At pick number 29, the Bucks take a JJ Redick type player and Leonardo Bolmero out of Argentina. He's a foreign prospect who's boom or bust, just like Giannis. and hopefully he hits for them. And he's a great shooter, but he's terrible defensively, and I don't really see him doing much in the pros. Hopefully he's a solid role player, however. And at pick 30, the Celtics take Vernon Carey Jr. This is their third pick, and they take a guy who's another project. He's pretty raw, and he was underwhelming at Duke. But hopefully he can have a solid career in the pros and learn behind Daniel Tice and Enes Kanter in Boston. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and make sure to subscribe. We're going to be posting a lot more mock drafts, and peace out.